Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Winback, and on today's episode of Heroes of the Storm in our A through Z playthrough, we're going to be playing Hanzo. Hanzo, the arrow guy, the one who shoots the dragons. He's a ninja? I'm going to be honest with you. Overwatch lore kind of isn't super exciting. No offense to Overwatch players. I think Overwatch characters are super cool, but at the same time, looking at everything going on in the background, it's... Anyway, this is a YouTube video, so feel free to like, comment, subscribe your heart out. And we're going to talk about Hanzo, who is arguably one of the most... he unfortunately shares a lot of the same headspace as Gul'dan. They are very effective characters while kind of not being super flashy. Hanzo does have a little bit more than Gul'dan in terms of the flash factor because his scatter arrows are super lit when you hit a good one, and his ultimates are both insane to look at when they do what they're supposed to do. So, that being said, if you're just here for the build, looks like we're going to be going W this time around, which is your scatter arrow. Scatter arrow. Simple geometry at 1. We're going to take explosive arrows at 4. 7 will be never outmatched. 10 is probably going to be dragon's arrow. 13 will be your ninja assassin. 16 should be piercing arrows. And then 20 will be... gonna be bullseye. Yep, definitely going to be bullseye. Play of the game is fine as a global, but at that point... I remember in this game specifically that Anduin was landing a lot of protection. So interrupting that's really important, and if I don't have my ult up to interrupt that, I need to have bullseye to interrupt that on a different cooldown. So... oh! Big scatter, big dings. Can we stop them from chasing my Jaina? It is perfectly possible, and we have done it. Saving her life with our damage. Let it be known, peeling is possible with characters who don't have CC. Oh my god, he exploded! Yikes. Now, your abilities with Hanzo, if you're not aware, Stormbow is your Q. You're going to charge the arrow that deals 340 damage to the first enemy hit. When you're charging the arrow, all you're doing is increasing the range. You're not increasing the damage at all. So, don't get into the mindset that you need to hold that button down just to kill a minion wave that's right in front of you, or hit a character that's right in front of you. If they're really just point blank, all you got to do is tap the Q, pop them. It's going to do the same amount of damage. That's just how it works. Your W, the most complicated ability in Hanzo's kit, is called your scatter arrow. It's going to shoot an arrow that is quite long range, but if it hits terrain, it is going to then separate into more arrows. Those arrows are going to do... they do the same amount of damage that the first arrow does. So the rough spot is that if you hit things that are not terrain with your first W, well, I take that back. You can shoot it through not heroes. You can shoot it through mercenaries, minions, and stuff like that. But if you hit a hero with the first cast of your W, it is going to hit them and stop. It will not go through them and bounce, which is unfortunate, but that's how it works. So if you hit a hero with your W, they're not going to get hit by the bounces, which is unfortunate. But we're going to rectify that later on with the talents at 16. Oh my god, there's so much damage happening, but nobody died. Stukov actually lives, except Ragnaros dies. And now I'm going to be killed by the Falstad using, let's make sure, I'm pretty sure I'm right, it's the bug build. Oh my god, being bugged and playing the same stupid lightning crap. This is all you're going to see from Falstads in Quick Match, because most of them probably won't realize that this is bugged, and the few that do realize that it's bugged are so ready to play like scum lords, it's fine. If you're not aware, as of this video, Falstad's W is bugged in that if your target on the lightning is slowed by your Q, your lightning will also slow them, making it impossible to get out of tether range for Falstad's lightning. So the slow just basically lasts until the person dies from the lightning strike, which is insane because it's free stacks on his damage at level 1, and it's just going to make him scale much faster, much harder, and it's so fucking annoying. But that's okay. We'll get the revenge. Now your E is your utility talent. Sonic Arrow is going to launch an arrow in a huge range, and it's going to reveal an area vision-wise for 5 seconds. You can actually land the arrow on a hero, and if you hit them with this arrow, it will follow them around, and you'll have vision of that person for 5 seconds. It's kind of random that this happens because it's an insanely hard ability to land. You can see it right there. I actually hit Sylvanas. But since the travel time is so fucking slow, it's really easy for people to just move out of the way of. Yeah, I mean, don't plan on hitting people with it. You basically want to use the Sonic Arrow to scout out chokes, scout out bushes, scout out things where, you know, you think the enemy team will be, or maybe ready to, like, try to bush on you. Oh my god, Falstad chasing me down again, but he's got his lightning rod on Ragnaros, so fuck him, we make it out. And then your ults, lately, we've seen an uptick in Dragon Strike use. Dragon Strike is the double dragon arrow that Hanzo is so famous for from Overwatch. So the reason typically that you're going to see Dragon Strike pick is when there are a lot of kind of clumped up team fights on big objectives. So Volskaya is one where you could just basically launch a Dragon Strike all the way across the objective, and it'll hit a lot of people. I'm not sure if Infernal Shrines is the type of map where it'll get a lot of value, mainly because the objective is a very wide location, and you don't necessarily see a lot of, I don't know. The map's big enough that Dragon's Arrow makes more sense. The other time that you can take Dragon Strike and get a lot of value out of it is things like Tyrael's Sanctification or Blaze's Bunker. Basically, a lot of places where the enemy team is going to be clumped up and you know that they're going to be there for a while, you just whip a Dragon Strike at them, and then they'll take a lot of damage because if they leave, they're going to get hit by it. But if they stay, they're also going to get hit by it. So that's typically when you're taking Dragon Strike. Unfortunately, Falstad is going to kill our Ragnaros and then zoom out because that's what they do. He also took Gust, which is kind of hilarious because I was not expecting that. Jaina also trading her life for nothing. Really good stuff there. Dragon's Arrow is ultimately what we're going to pick up at 10, though, because Dragon's Arrow is such a ridiculously strong engage, and it can be used from anywhere on the map, any distance. It's going to get something done. It's just such a good ability. It's the whole playmaking conundrum of playing characters like this. So Hanzo has that ult that just makes team fights go every direction that they need to go, or you can whiff them and be a total nublord. But that's a thing that happens, you know. You get over those. Now, we're trying to get in here. Muradin is going to get out. Sylvanas is going to miss her arrow. Muradin's going to miss his Stormbolt. There's a Spaghettis and Meatballs on top of the Sylv, but now he is rooted. That's a Planet Cracker. Can my team avoid it enough? Jaina just deciding to walk in and take out the Sylvanas. There's the Rag Smash, but it's on Varian, who is shield-walled and doing absolutely nothing. Unfortunate. Now, really, oof, there is the stun. You have to hold that ability in team fights like that, where Anduin has his ult up. You have to hold yours to interrupt it, because it's the only way that we can do that, because I'm not relying on either my Muradin or my Stukov to hold their abilities to stop it. That's just... That's how quick match works. You have to be aware of these things. If the enemy team has a mosh pit or a not a sanct salvation, you have to be the one to cancel those. Otherwise, they are just going to run over your team, because that's what the ultimates are designed to do, and they're some of the only things in the entire game that have any counterplay to them. So, Punisher still has all of his health. That was a completely wasted rag fort because nobody was able to do anything. Everybody trying to run away from the Punisher. Not sure. Well, we're definitely not going to lose the keep. So the fort is gone. Nothing we could do there. Murden jumping the Punisher, and he is going to get away. Luckily, the enemy team was not ready to kill him. And then Jane is coming around the backside to drop some damage as well. Not super impactful damage, but I guess it killed a couple minions, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Anyway, back to Hanzo. So, your D is your final activatable button, and it is by far... Oh my god, he just missed it with the tip. Just the tip. It's that whole missing on a stationary target. I'm sure the guy meant to hit him, but maybe he like freaked out and hit the button too early. I don't know. I am assuming he was going for the interrupt, and I'm giving him the credit there, but missing it is still missing it, so we won't beat him up too hard. Now, your trait, it's called Natural Agility. It's got a 30-second cooldown, but it's the only escape that Hanzo has outside of play the game at 20. Your D is, it's always got to be around terrain. And the only way that you are going to get it to go off is by hitting D on the other side of the terrain that you want to land on. Is that confusing? I know. It's dumb. It is one of the most clunky, stupid escape abilities in the entire game, but whatever. I guess that's how it works. Basically, you'll see a little indicator on the other side of the terrain when you're holding down the button if you've got, okay, well, are we going to be able to get her? We're just going to hop over. And she's going to dodge literally everything. Just everything. Fantastic. Oh, the Stormbolt connects, and she finally dies. Muradin securing the kill that I could not with all of my little arrows in that tiny little cubby, because I am bad. But anyway, that's looking up for our team. Sylvanas is dead. The objective hasn't spawned yet, though, which is a little bit unfortunate. There's the Haymaker of the tank into our team, and then there is the Planet Cracker from the Phoenix trying to split us up a little bit. I don't know. Don't Haymaker the guy who just pushes protected and stops all of our damage. It's literally Muradin's going for the Haymaker, Ragnaros is going for the Smash, and Varian's just pushing W and saying, haha, fuck you. And that is... no. Punch Anduin. Punch Falstad. I mean, punch literally anybody but Varian. And you also could just not punch, too. I mean, that's a thing that you can do. So, your talents with Hanzo, the big important ones are obviously the W talents, number one, because, you know, it's the W build. But your level 1 talent is a quest. Once you hit multiple heroes with... God damn it. Oh, there is the Haymaker, and the Phoenix is just going to warp out. So, yet again, probably could have just held it. But the quest, ultimately, what it's going to do is when you hit 20 people with multiple scattered arrows, you're going to increase the number of arrows that scatter off of the ability. Oh my god, I don't have my ult ready. No one else on my team has their interrupts ready either, because I knew it. And the enemy team just gets their full protection. A lot of people think that this ability is like, or this quest is difficult to complete. So what I'm going to say to that is that if you play Hanzo, you need to practice hitting the scatter arrows. Wow, he popped. You need to practice hitting the scatter arrows anyway, because they are going to be your main form of damage when you play this character. And if you're not comfortable hitting the scatter arrows, you're probably not going to do the most damage possible. Q build is still a thing that you can do. I mean, it's pretty consistent damage, but ultimately it's going to be less than what you can do. Don't stand next to him while he's lightning bolting you. Maybe it's hard to see. I just watched Jaina stand there and take the Thor damage directly in the dome piece. I mean, anyway, this whole shrine is still perfectly winnable for us because Hanzo has insane clear with explosive arrows, which is going to be your 4 talent, and it is the entire reason to take the talent, honestly, because the wave clear and the shrine clear with it is obnoxiously strong. And if you can believe, it used to actually be better than what it is currently. So explosive arrows is going to deal 60% of the damage of a Q in a radius around minion monster, not mercenaries though. Yeah, just minions or monsters that it hits. So shrine monkeys count as monsters, so when you're hitting them with an explosive arrow, it's going to split up and deal damage to other shrine monkeys. Like, tell me. Oh, what a good smash. He's just going to protect through it though, because no one else was in position, unfortunately. But the Punisher is going to get the full objective clear. Didn't have another auto attack in time for the Sylvanas, unfortunately. That is much, much worse than I wanted it to go. But whatever. We got the building. Everything's dead. This is me changing my song in the middle of the game. Great. Production quality, truly. Anyway, so that's, again, Explosive Arrow is just the best all-around talent at level 4. Serrated Arrows is what you take when you're playing on BOE and you need to shred the Immortal. And then Ignore All Distractions, I think has some very niche uses, but it isn't... it's definitely the least pickable on the tier. I think it's fun, but it's just not good. Well, not all the time good. It's good in what it can be used for, it's just not the greatest. And you really want to build auto attacks if you're taking Ignore All Distractions, which isn't something that you're going to see on a lot of Hanzos. Never Outmatched is going to be your 7. This is another W talent. The mana reduction is really important, but mostly you're taking this for the cooldown reduction from your auto attacks so that you can launch more scatter arrows. The more scatters you fire off, the more damage that you do, the happier you are going to be as a DPS player. So, seeing as how all of your damage is your W, it also makes hitting your quest stacks a lot easier because your W will be up more often to hit more people. You see where I'm going. It just synergizes incredibly well with your W ability, period. Now, your 13 talent, I mean, it's really up to you. It's just a defensive tier. It's all about mobility. Ninja Assassin lets you reduce the cooldown of your jump. Fleet of Foot makes you faster. And Mounted Archery is going to... Oh, that's cool. I didn't know it actually reduced the cooldown of Mount. That was a super long range arrow, but nobody on my team was in position to make anything happen there, which is a bit unfortunate for us, because now the enemy team is just in full retreat. They don't want to fight 20 to 20. So, whatever. Let them run. We'll get them later. No, but that's cool. I didn't realize it reduced the cooldown of Mount. So it reduces the cooldown of Mount from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. And then when you use your jump over terrain, you immediately mount. So maybe that is worth taking a little bit more often. Ouch. Going to use the Bullseye to stop that Anduin channel, and that is the whole reason that we took the ability and the whole reason that we are not just spamming it immediately everywhere. Because it is 100% only to interrupt Anduin when he ults. I believe he did take Desperate Prayer at level 20, I guess because he is concerned about being interrupted, which he should be, even though my team isn't doing a very good job of doing that. I tried to jump while being gusted, and it wouldn't let me because the gust interrupted the jump, which is hyper unfortunate. Can't even peel with the Bullseye for the Ragnaros, so there's nothing that we can do there, and we just have to run away. Oof. Now the good news is all of the range that we have on this character is insanely good for clearing minions from very, very far away. So we do stop the push potential of the enemy team quite a bit, stunning the Sylvanas with the Bullseye. Nice. When you take the 20 talent, when you take Bullseye, it is actually... So the ability is going to stun for 1 second, but it travels 100% faster, making it 1,000,000,000% easier to hit. It's just so nice. So nice. And the good news is that you can chain that stun with your ultimate. If you hit a big dragon arrow, you can just drop a Bullseye right on top of the person that you hit, and you've basically doubled the stun of your dragon's arrow. So it's pretty good. Play of the game is fine too if you need to have a global presence somewhere on your team, but it's not ultimately necessary unless you and your team have decided that Hanzo is going to be the global lane soaker, which he's very good at. So I mean, you know, but whatever. I think Bullseye is fantastic. Perfect agility is also very, very good. And then 16 piercing arrows is absolutely 100% necessary for the W build, I think. As good... Oh my god! There's the Bullseye to stop the channel on the Anduin again, but it looks like Falstad's just going to get eaten alive before it's even possible to save him. Piercing arrows... the argument that you'll see good players make... Ooh! The Phoenix is down. The Haymaker finally landing on a very good target. But Giant Slayer at 16 as well does a fuck ton of damage if you manage to hit a lot of scatters on a single target, because it's all percentage damage. Oh my god, we don't need to all die here, please, people. I'm trying to get the Sylvanas away from my buddies. Ragnaros lives with less than 400 health, and we're going to peel effectively once again. Thank god. Just scraping by here at the end. Ugh. But Giant Slayer down here, 2% of the maximum health is damage. If you manage to hit a full scatter, which is 6 arrows, I think 6 scattered arrows, you're going to do 12% of a character's maximum health as damage, which is nuts. You can pop tanks with this ability. The sad part of it is that you have to be insanely good at aiming your W, because it is... If you're not bouncing into the right angle, or it's hitting another hero before it lands, anything like that, that scatter damage isn't going to happen. Ooh, is this an enemy team just in the wrong spot at the wrong time? I don't have an arrow for them anymore because I used it on them at the beginning, and Murden's going to die. But the rest of the team is here. Jaina dropping her entire burst combo on the Falstad, which is fantastic for us. I'm going to get... Oh my god, almost fucking destroyed by the Planet Cracker. There's the Stukov coming around the backside with the germs to keep me alive. Thank god for that, man. That was a big heal. Right, but... The arrow probably could have been better placed. I think more towards the center would have been... No, that was the arrow that Falstad ran in front of. I wasn't aiming for Falstad, he just ate the arrow. Pretty sure that's what happened. Right, but back to piercing arrows. So piercing arrows is going to open up a lot of extra damage for your character that you don't have to be... oh my god. Well, Stukov's dead. And now we're in full retreat mode yet again. Lots of back and forth on this this game, it looks like. Oof, stunning the Varian, but not able to stun the Sylvanas. Is that going to be enough to get Jaina out? It looks like it, just barely. Just barely. But Scatter Arrow, my god, if I could just finish a thought. Piercing Arrow is going to let you shoot your W through a hero, have it bounce, and then all those bouncing arrows are going to pierce through everything as well. So you can now use your W much more aggressively. You can aim it through heroes. You can aim it through... well, heroes are the only thing it wouldn't go through previously, but the arrows that bounce as well are going to pierce through everything. Your Q is also going to pierce through everything, so when you're hitting a fully charged Stormbow on a lined up minion wave, you're basically going to delete the entire wave because it's going to explode twice and do all the line arrow damage. Like, it's just nuts how strong the ability makes Hanzo. And the fact that your W can just like sail through an enemy hero and then hit a wall behind them and bounce 6 arrows back into them is crazy good. Just stupid amounts of strong. Oh my god. There's the arrow. It is just going to barely miss Falstad, unfortunately. But we still have the bullseye ready to go in case Anduin rips his ult. Right now, our tank is incredibly low in health. Ragnaros is trying to do his best to frontline, but now he's getting lightning rotted directly in the butt. Where's the Anduin ult? There's the Anduin ult. Rag ult's going to miss, but we've got the silence and the bullseye directly in Anduin's face, so they are going to leave Sylvanas all the way up at the top there on her own to die. I'm fairly certain we can take this from the enemy team. They should be much scared to come in here, assuming... Yep, ooh, Varian goes down, finally. I'm just focusing the shrine right now because all of my Q damage is really good at shrine clear. Ow. Planet Cracker trying to seal the final 3 monkeys for the enemy team, but it just doesn't happen. Little bit disadvantageous on the shrine spawning for the enemy team. Thank God for that. I'm going to go back and clear the catapults because that's what I do. I still have my ultimate, which is global. Even though I can't be with the team, I can effectively launch an arrow and win the game still. I mean, it's very possible. So instead of watching me clear catapults, we're going to come over here and watch the friendly team push in with the Punisher. Oh, he's going over the wall. He's in the gust. Oh my god. Punisher says, fuck that. I'm going to turn your buildings off. There is the arrow hitting 3 people all the way downtown. The Ragnaros ult on the Phoenix. Looks like Falstad is going to be the next to go, getting rooted, haymakered, and punched to death by the Punisher. And I want to show you guys why we were looking over there, because the camera on yours truly at this time was far too cool to look at that explosion. I promise you. Just clearing catapults. This is me just looking at the mini-map like, I wonder. Maybe I should do something. I'll just keep clearing minions, it's fine. I'm sure they'll do something with that, right? Oh, yeah, we got a single kill. That's looking pretty good. We could probably go try to end the game now. And, oh, a second kill? Oh my god! Are you sure? And then the building's dead. And that's what should be going through your head as a Hanzo player. I mean, cool guys don't look at explosions, right? We just win the game with our brains, calculating all the geometry necessary from 100 miles away and not even bothering to look at the results. But my god, was it cool looking. Just feels all nice and good in the heart zone, you know? Landing a Dragon's Arrow is the whole fun of playing Hanzo, because the other stuff is kind of, you know, whatever. And the enemy team, obviously not paying attention to the arrow coming their direction, deserves to just get pounded in the butt by it. You know what I'm saying? One good shrine, one good arrow, one good Punisher is going to end the game for the friendly team. Oh, would you look at that? I did do it. It was me, wasn't it? Stop it. Just stop it. Oh! Damn, even some enemy team voters for Ye Hanzo. Ye old Hanzo. The build again, in case you need it, it's going to be simple geometry, explosive arrows, never outmatched, Dragon's Arrow, Ninja Assassin, piercing arrows, and then bullseye. That game went on super long, so thanks for hanging out if you did, but I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.